Okay, dye placement. I'm just going to use straight up mind bender. That's it. And I like to go right along with the sinew line itself. And I use a, it's a, what do they call this? Lab spoons. Lab spoons. You can get all kind of. If you look online, search lab spoons. I like this one because it has like this little curved thing, so you can really scoop dye and lay it nicely. And it also has a flat edge too, so super helpful when you lay dye. And if you want to lay it precisely, but with this, it's not really going to be precise. But what I like to do is I like to use the flat part. Let's say we're going to use the flat part, because what I like to do for dye placement is I'll grab just enough and I'll let it fall straight down. I want to make a good straight line is what I'm getting at. You know what? Let's not use the flat end because that's really not working for me. So I want to use the curved side because it's going to grab it up a little bit nicer. So, and it's going to hold it for me instead of playing around and trying to fall off. So now I can grab just enough, a nice even amount, and then just set it right there. You could even touch it and just let it fall right next to it in a nice straight line. And that looks good to me. One good straight line like so is going to make the difference. And we're going to follow up and go right along the seam line itself. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Let's just go right along across from it. Again, a nice straight line. Set it right next to it and let it fall straight down. This is how I do most of my projects, just like this, nice and straight line. And if you're looking for precision, that's when I'd use a smaller tool and use a small amount and like towards the center, because you don't, like if you're trying to make a spiral and where the points meet, you're going to want something. You don't want to just overload your die. And you know what, let's just go, I'm going to go right next to it, but I'm not going to go too close. I want just enough space but not too far for the dye to flow. And we're going to go straight on. Yeah, this curved part is so helpful. I mean, like, you can get good precision lines because it holds just the right amount of powder for you, that it's not too much and it doesn't fall all over the place, so you can get a little bit more precise lines. We're just going to keep doing, oops, a little bit dropped there, but that's going to be alright. We're going to keep doing all the way around. Not too much, but not too little. All the way around. All the way up. Kind of like doing a colander or a spiral. Just go right to the center. Don't want too much. Oh, and like the center, I'm sure you guys know. Towards the outer edge of the shirt, you're going to want more dye. I mean, like, the lower it is, the wider your dye. Up here, more narrow it's going to be. However you want to do it, though. I've noticed some people just lay their dye on there. You can do it all sporadic, however you want. That's up to you. But me personally, this is about how I do most of my shirts. And sometimes I notice if I don't put too much, if I don't put enough dye on it, I'll go back about midway through and be like, oh, okay, I see I need a little bit more dye right here. So I'll add just a touch more and a little bit more ice and some soda ash right along with it. That way, because I don't really like white spots in my shirts. I mean, some people probably do, but I'm just not that guy. I'm going to go all the way up. Yep, just enough dye. Not too much, not too little. I can't stress that enough. Again, try to make your lines going straight down. However you want to do it. This is how I've had the best results. By leaving enough white space in between so your dye can actually flow and split Because if you put too much dye, it just kind of muddies up and it's just too much, you know. So we'll go with this. A little bit more. I'm going to add just a touch more right here. I want it to be a little bit, as it goes down, I want it to be a little bit more wider. And a lot of the times I have issues, it's not with the bottom part because everything flows down. It's usually with right up here, like this looks like it might need to be moved just a hair because, I mean, like, I could see it before it even happens. Here, let's move this because I don't want anything in my way. Straight down. You just visualize your line where you're going to want that dye to sit and flow, because it's going to flow this way because the spiral's facing down that way. So you want the edge of your line, the straight part of the edge of your line on the right, and then it's all going to flow however you want to do it. This is what I've learned over the few years I've been doing this. So add just a little bit more on the bottom here. There we go. And I'm going to just spin this right on around. Be very careful. We're going to continue on. Continue on. I don't like this right here in my way. Again, just lay it right on it and let it flow. I've timed myself before, and these shirts usually take around 40 minutes from start to finish. Obviously that's not letting them cure or batch or anything. And what I like about this also is I use a block of ice. I just set it right on top. You know what? I'm going to add just a tiny bit more right here, and I'm going to take the rest and put it right there. Okay, we're going to continue on. Yeah, Mindbender is so fun to use. I mean, like, it's one of my favorites. Again, straight down. Add just a little bit more. Oh, right there, right there. It looks good. Tiny bit more, tiny bit more. A little bit more up top here. I mean, that's what I like about this tool is you can grab a big amount and just tap it out, and it'll hold just like the smallest amount, like so, and you can just apply it. It's called a lab spoon. You search lab spoons online and you can get a variety pack of like 15 or however many, and there's all different kinds, but I've narrowed it down to like only a few I really use, probably like maybe 4 or 5 out of the bunch that I really choose to work with because they're perfect. Some people probably have some really cool ideas on what you can apply dye with, but this has been one of my favorites. I've seen people use even like salt and pepper shakers, which is cool if you don't want definition or whatever, but people come up with some really neat ideas, you know, of what to use and, you know, how to apply different things. That's what I really like about the tie-dye community is you definitely learn a lot just from watching and others and how they do things. And I think we're going to lay one more line right here, and we're going to try to get some of this sleeve because it should be over here. So however you want to do it. Here, we're going to do it just like so, right there. A little bit more right here. Catch that back side. Right here. Yeah, I made my first time ever using Mindbender. I was so blown away with the results, and I honestly haven't been able to achieve that same goodness from it. And it's just one of the things, you know, you guys all know how everything's a little different. Not one is ever the same. So I'll put just a little bit here. That should be fine. Just a tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit more. And I like to use my soda ash, like I said, I put it in an old minced onion container, you know, and I obviously labeled it soda ash, and I keep it with all my stuff. And I never soda ash soak because it tears my hands up. I like to fold while it's damp and with bare hands, because I don't like gloves. I want to get right down to it and feel what I'm doing. There's a few spots I really don't like in here that I know are going to be troublesome, so I'm just going to touch those up right now. I mean, like, I can just see it. I already know what's going to happen or what's not going to happen if I don't address it now. Just a couple spots. Like I said, you want enough white space, but not too much. You don't want your dye too close. I think that's going to be, actually, let me put a little bit more right here. That line's really thin. I know this might be boring or long of a video, but this is how I do it. This is what I do, and I think that's it. And here's my soda ash. No soda ash soak, just a sprinkle. And I'll try to get all down each line. So I want there to be enough. And I guess some people have the saying, like, there's soda ash burn, or some people think it's a myth, or I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, if you will, about it, because I've had, if you want to call it soda ash burn, I don't even know if it's soda ash burn. I think it's like those little fuzzies. But this is plenty soda ash to me. If I need to spray, I have a solution made, but I don't think I will. But anyway, that's what I do, and this is how I do it every time. Let me grab this because I want to walk around for you guys here. Yeah, this is it. And that's what I do. I'm gonna put a block of ice on this, and that's what I do. Thanks, guys.